The Alabama Farmers Federation is proud to present the Outstanding Young Farm Families of 2010. They represent the future of agriculture in Alabama. Winners were selected in 10 commodity divisions, and from that group, 6 were chosen as finalists for the overall title of Outstanding Young Farm Family. Here's a quick look at each of our division winners. 29-year-old Garrett Henry began his beef cattle operation 6 years ago. Garrett comes from a long line of cattlemen with his father and grandfather, 2 uncles, and an aunt in the business. In a short time, Garrett has increased his cattle and hay operations to cover 1,200 acres, and this year he ran 1,300 stocker calves through his family's barn. He and his wife Emily have a daughter, Paige, and are expecting a son sometime in December. Matthew Smith has worked the ground between Anniston and Gadsden with his father nearly all his life. But when he became a partner in the operation more than 15 years ago, Matthew wanted some diversity from the grains and cattle his family had traditionally produced. It took some talking, but he finally convinced his dad to add cotton to their rotation. Today, cotton makes up more than a quarter of the overall acreage, along with corn, wheat, and soybeans. Matthew and his wife Stacy have 2 sons, Colby and Michael. Put simply, Justin Hill likes to raise horses. He has 2 studs standing at his 150-acre Calhoun County farm to breed 13 quarter-horse mares. He raises colts that are bred to work events like cutting, ranch work, and roping. Justin also operates a training facility which had 32 horses owned by other people come through last year. And he's invented several devices to improve animal health and to make life easier for him and his horses. If you're looking for a family farm, you need look no further than Wright's Nursery and Greenhouse in Dallas County. Not only do Davy and Heather Wright work there, but so do both of his parents, his grandmother, and her mother. The Wrights produce millions of bedding plants, flowers, and vegetables that are sold through independent garden centers across the state. In 2004, Davy registered the trademark Alabama Grown, and they provide consumer information through a related website. Davy and Heather have 2 children, Abby and Noah. Jeff and Randy Whitaker have been raising chickens for 10 years, but 2 years ago they added a new component to their farm, hay production. They started with 150 acres and are now up to 200 and looking to expand even more. In spite of dry weather, Jeff says he's happy with this year's yield of 2,600 to 2,700 rolls, but says it would have been closer to 3,000 if they hadn't had a drought. He and Randy have 2 sons, Aiden and Keegan. Jeremy and Julie Calvert are proving that you don't have to have hundreds of acres to be successful farming. On 20 acres, the Calverts produce 20 different vegetable crops. They also have a 3-acre peach orchard and 2 poultry houses. Jeremy says 75% of their crops are sold at the local farmers market, with the rest being sold at the farm. Julie is homeschooling their son James, which allows the whole family to be together most of the time. Mike Dole grew up on a beef cattle and poultry farm, so he knows what it takes to make a successful operation. But he says he didn't know the first thing about raising goats, so he carefully researched the industry before buying his first animal. Now in his 2nd year of operation, Mike has 21 nannies and 4 billies. He's continued his education, completing the Master Meat Goat Herdsman program, artificial insemination instruction, and is licensed for meat and poultry sales to stores in Alabama. He and his wife Teresa have 3 children, Katie Sue, Henry, and Evelyn. It's not that unusual for a farm to produce 850 acres of peanuts. But how many operations do you know that grow 2,600 acres of cucumbers? Well, if you've had a Burger King hamburger with pickles, chances are you've had a cuke from Colby and Jacqueline Willoughby's farm. Colby's a 4th-generation farmer, but he's not satisfied to continue doing things just because we've always done it that way. His modifications to equipment have improved efficiency on his farm and for other farmers because of his collaboration with equipment manufacturers. When other kids were dreaming of new toys and four-wheelers, Josh Turner was dreaming of land and cattle. He grew up working in his grandfather and great-uncle's chicken houses, but Josh's dream of farming came true when they offered to lease him the houses during his senior year of high school. Since then, Josh has built 6 new houses and is expanding his cow-calf operation. He and his wife Jess have 3 children, Harley, Griffin, and Jake. Jeremy Wilson says he grows soybeans because they have so many uses, and that, he says, ensures him a competitive price. Jeremy grows 4,000 acres of beans, along with 2,700 acres of corn and 400 acres of wheat. His philosophy is to get as much as possible out of every acre. He just added 2,700 acres, which also means adding another 60,000 bushels of storage to keep trucks running rather than waiting in line at the elevator. Jeremy and his wife Stephanie have a 6-year-old daughter, Kinsley. Those are our 10 Commodity Division winners. Now let's take a closer look at the 6 finalists. Tonight, one of them will be named Alabama's Outstanding Young Farm Family for 2010.